everyone, it's Colleen with Yarn Wars or Chasey Crochet, excuse me. Today I am going to be doing a full video tutorial on this awesome hip to be square water bottle cozy. And it is so simple to make. It takes no time at all. And you have this awesome cozy that you can wear on your hip. You can make a smaller strap for it, or you can make a longer strap for it to fling it over your shoulder. Either way, everybody needs a water bottle cozy for summer hiking and fun in the park, on the beach, you name it. This is a fabulous thing to have. So I went ahead and printed out my instructions. Hip to be square water bottle cozy free crochet pattern. Now all you're going to need for this, and I'm not going to be using cotton yarn today because I have actually run out of cotton yarn. I don't have enough in what I have, so I'm going to be making this with an acrylic worsted, which I would definitely suggest, I mean, you could get away with using it, but I would definitely suggest cotton for this. Use peaches and cream or sugar and cream, one of those, or your own, whatever cotton blend you have. You can use an H-hook for this. You'll need a blunt needle and scissors. Now the different techniques we're going to be covering in this will be a magic circle, single crochet, half double crochet, and a chain. And then if you're looking at the PDF, you'll see that I have an outline of how we make our clusters. It is a little different than your normal cluster that you see in different patterns. So we'll go over that when we get to this point. Now our pattern, we are going to work rounds 1 through 4 for a small water bottle, or 1 through 5 for a larger water bottle for our cozy base for the bottom of our cozy. Okay, and I actually did 1 through 5. This is a larger water bottle, so I made a larger cozy for it. For demonstration purposes, I will be making a small one, so I will go 1 through 4. Now our first step tells us to work a magic circle, and we're going to go through that. I do have a standalone video on the magic circle, but I always like to go through that as well on any of the patterns that I'm working here. So for a magic circle, I just wrap around my fingers once and then twice, crossing over the second time. I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to come up in between that crisscross right there. And I'm going to pull this one through and twist my hook up. So I have a little loop there. I'm going to pull over from this string here, and I'm going to just pull it right through that loop, and I have created a magic circle. So if you need to rewind this to see it again, go ahead and do that. It's so simple to make a magic circle, and I do realize that some people struggle a little bit with it. It is a little awkward to work into a magic circle to start, but you'll get that down in no time. Okay, and as awkward as the magic circle could be, you're going to find yourself using this a lot once you get this down pat, because it's really nice on the close. It closes up tightly and leaves you no hole on the bottom, you know, rather than chaining a couple and then working into that first chain. So we're going to move on, and our pattern says to chain 1 and work 8 half double crochets into our circle, and then we're going to join to the top of our first half double crochet. So we'll chain 1 first, and then we're going to work 8 half double crochets right into the circle. 1, make sure you do not work your tail like I just did. I'm not even paying attention. I'm looking right through my camera screen, and I just totally worked my tail instead of my working yarn there. So don't do what I just did. Okay, I'm going to get back into my magic circle again. Make sure you keep your tail at the other end and use your working yarn I'm sorry about that. We're going to chain 1 and work 8 half doubles into our circle. And there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so I've worked 8 half double crochets, and I'm going to go ahead and pull my tail to close that circle. See how nicely that closes? And then when you hide your tail in there, if you hide it around in the back middle section of that circle, you'll close that circle up to nothing. But we're going to join to the top of our first half double crochet, not into our chain, but the top of our first half double. So we'll go in and we'll just join it with a slip stitch. Okay, so that ends our first round. Now in round 2, it tells us to, or I tell you to chain 1, and we're going to work 1 half double crochet into the same as the chain 1, and then we're going to work 2 half double crochets into each half double crochet around, joining to the top of the first half double crochet. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and chain 1, and we're going to work right into that same space as the chain 1, a half double crochet. And for each stitch around after that, we will work 2 half double crochets. So you're going to increase in each of your stitches around for this round. Go ahead and work your increase into each stitch, and I will meet you on the other side. Okay, so we have completed, we've gotten to the end of row 2, and we have worked an increase into each stitch around. You will have a total of 16 stitches at the end of this round, and we're going to go ahead and join to the top of that first half double crochet with a slip stitch. For round 3, we are going to chain 1. We're going to work 1 half double crochet into the same as our chain. And we're going to work 1 half double crochet into our first half double crochet, first one. And then we will increase in our next. So we'll work 2 half double crochets into that next stitch. And you are going to repeat that pattern around. Our next stitch, we will work just 1. And our next stitch will work 2, or an increase. And then 1. Oops. And then 2. Repeat that around, and when you get to the end, I will meet you there. If you need to pause your video, this is a great time to do it now. Okay, we've reached the end of round 3, and we are moving on. We joined with a slip stitch to the top of our first half double crochet, and now we are moving on to round 4. We are going to chain 1, which I've already done. We will work our 1 half double crochet into that chain 1 space. And then we're going to work 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 half double crochets. And then we're going to work an increase in our next one of 2 half double crochets. And we're going to continue with that pattern. We are going to work 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 half double crochets, and then 2 half double crochets into our next, or an increase. 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 2 half double crochets. Now you can go ahead and pause this video and work this pattern around. Just continue working what we've been working. 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 half double crochet or 2 stitches, half double crochet stitches, and then an increase or 2 half double crochets into the next one. And at the end of round 4, you will have a total of 32 stitches. So pause your video and I will see you on the other side. Okay, we have reached the end of our round 4 and we are going to join to the top of our first half double crochet with a slip stitch. Okay, so we have gone as far as we're going to go for a smaller water bottle base. And the next thing we're going to do, like I said, if you're making for a larger water bottle, work another round of this. If it's even bigger than that, measure it up to your large water bottle and see. You can go ahead and make another, you can make it as big as you need to make it for your water bottle. But we are going to go ahead and move on to round 6 because we are not going to make it any bigger than this. Now for round 6, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and then we're going to turn our work. And we are going to work, and the reason we're doing this is going to give it more of a turn without having to just, it's going to give us a little more of a lip upwards on our outer bottle without working just into the back stitch only of each stitch, because I want this to be nice and firm and sturdy. So we are going to work, first we're going to work a half double crochet in, oh I'm sorry, no, don't do that. We're going to work a single crochet, I'm sorry, into that same chain space right there. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet into each of our stitches around for our start of the upper part of our bottle. So this is kind of just giving us that finish off right after our base. We're just going to go around. I'm sorry I got out of the camera a little bit there, but we're just going to go around and work a single crochet into each stitch around. So go ahead and do that. Just work 1 single crochet around each stitch and I will meet you on the other side. Go ahead and pause your video and finish with that. Okay, so we are coming into the end of our round 6. We're going to just work our last single crochet, and then we're going to go ahead and come in here and join to the top of that first single crochet with a slip stitch. Okay, so when we were working round 6, the wrong side of our water bottle base was facing us. Okay, and now what we are going to do is we are going to turn again our project and we're going to chain 3, 2 and 3. Okay, we are going to skip that first stitch and we're going to work a half double crochet into our next for round 7. Oops. Okay, so you see we've got a little gap right there. And then we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip our next stitch, and then we're going to work a half double crochet into our next stitch and chain 1, and we're going to continue this around. We're going to skip our next stitch, work a half double crochet into our next stitch and chain 1, skip our next stitch, work a half double crochet into our next stitch and chain 1. And this step is going to go super fast. Okay, so basically we're just creating these little spaces, skip, and then work a half double crochet, chain 1, skip, half double crochet, chain 1. Work that around and I will meet you on the other side. Okay, so we have worked round 7 around And we have come to the end here. We have one stitch and we're going to skip and join. We're going to go ahead and chain one, and then we're going to not do that. We're going to join in to the top of that chain 3, or you can join in actually anywhere you want. You can join into actually a chain, chain 2 or chain 3 there. That really doesn't matter. But now we are going to move on to our next round 8. We're going to chain 2 and we're going to work our square cluster into our first chain space. So now you get to see how the cluster is made. We're going to start by chaining 2. And into this space right here, what we're going to do is yarn over, go into that, pull our yarn through, and we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So we'll have 2 on our hook. Yarn over, go through, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2. So you got 3 on your hook now. Okay? Yarn over, pull through 2 more on your hook. You'll have 4. Okay? So now what we're going to do is yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2 more, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2, so you have 1 left on your hook. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in between these. Forget this chain here. We're going to go in through our first, between those first 2 works. We're going to put our hook right into that space, pull through, and work a single crochet. And then we're going to go in between that next space right there and do the same thing, pull through, and work a single crochet. Okay, we've made our first square. Now we're going to chain 1. Oops, hang on just a second. We're going to skip that space right there. We're going to skip this next space, and we're going to work into this space. So we'll do this cluster again. Hopefully you can see this okay. You're going to yarn over, go into that space, pull through, and pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through, and pull through 2 more. Yarn over for a last final time and pull through 2 more till you have 4 strands on your hook. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through our last 2, and then we're going into that space. This is going to be different because we didn't chain up. So like right here where we skip that chain to go work through this space, this time you're going to work through your first 2, insert your hook, pull through, and work a single crochet. Insert your hook, pull through, and work a single crochet, and chain 1. So we've made our second square. Okay? And this is what you're going to repeat for this round, round 8, is you're going to skip your next space, chain space, and you're going to work into the following chain space. So you are going to yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2 more. Yarn over, pull through 2 more. You have a total of 4 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to go into that first space with a single crochet, into that next space with a single crochet, and chain 1. Skip our next and work into the next. Repeat that around until we reach the end. I will meet you on the other side to finish up this round. Okay, so we have reached the end of our round 8. And we're going to join to this. Okay, I want to show you, and each of them are going to look like this. This is the top of that first. We're going to join right in here to that. It's almost going off to the side, and you'll notice that with each of your joins. Okay. Let me get a little more yarn out here. But for round 9, and this is basically, you're going to be repeating between round 8 and 9 after this. So this is really easy, but basically for round 9, all you're going to do is chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to work a half double crochet into your chain space here. Your chain 1 space that's in between clusters. Okay, we're just going to work half double crochet. So we've made our first little hang there, and then we're going to 1, 2, 3, chain 3 more, and work another half double crochet into this cluster space, or the space between the clusters. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 in between the next 2 clusters in that space. 1, 2, 3 in between. 1, 2, 3 in between. And make sure you don't overwork your chain 3s because it's easy to lose track, but we're just going to go ahead and do this while we're on the video to finish this round because this round is so quick. 2, 3 in between our clusters. 1, 2, 3 in between our last cluster, and then what we'll do is we'll just join into that first chain 3 space that we made. Okay, so we ended that round by working a join into our very first chain 3. So as you see, we have our entire row 9 is just chain 3 spaces with half double crochet in between each of our clusters. So for row 10 or round 10, what we're going to be doing is repeating first round 8 and then round 9. And we're going to do that to the height that we need it to be for our water bottle, whatever height we want that. So we're going to chain 2, work a cluster into our first chain space. So we're going to go ahead and work our cluster in here to this first, oops, okay, never mind my cluster. Apparently, I'm not sure what I'm doing. So we're going to work a cluster into our first chain 3 space the way we did for row 8, coming through 2, 2, 2, and then working our 2 single crochets right into those spaces in between and a chain 1. And then we're going to do that into each of our chain 3 spaces. So you're going to just work clusters in each of these chain spaces around. Okay, so it's as easy as this. We are basically going just in between from here on out rows 8 and 9. And these clusters are so easy and so fast that it doesn't take any time at all for you to get them worked up. But you don't have to be real tight with them. I'm using, like I said, right now I'm using an acrylic worsted weight, but you're going to want to use a cotton, and that'll come out just a little bit bigger. So what you're seeing here is not probably as big as it will be, but I'm going to go ahead and work one more of these clusters really slow just just for people still trying to grasp onto the square cluster that I'm making. I'm just going around I'm yarning over, going into that chain 3 space. Up, let me get rid of my tail, is in my way there. Yarn over, go into that chain 3 space, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the space, pull through 2, pull through 2, 2, and 2, and then go in, come out with a slip stitch or a single crochet and single crochet and chain 1, and then on to the next chain 3 space. So as you see, we're getting around this thing. It's nice because the water bottle itself anyway is not that large around. You could make several of these in a day if that's all you were doing. They're just really that simple once you start making them. And they're so handy. These are great. I know for most of you, school is out, it's summertime, and there isn't a more perfect time to be making these for craft shows or whatever the case. Family outings, absolutely perfect for that. So you just want to, you could make these up in no time. You're going camping, what a great thing to have with you while you're hiking around. You could attach it to your hip, or you could just, like I said, swing it over your shoulder if you made a shoulder strap for it. I really like the whole hip thing, but for the hip deal, you know, it's a little easier if you have a belt. So we've reached the end of our second row of clusters here, and I'm going to show you again. You see this little stitch off here it's kind of coming off to the side there. It is that first stitch in our cluster, and we are going into that, it's almost like on the side almost, and we're going into that to join. Okay, so we've completed our second row or round of clusters, and from here we are going to repeat our round 9 because we just did our 8 again, and now we're going to chain 3, 2 and 3, and work a half double crochet in between those clusters. And then we're going to chain 3 again. Half double crochet in between those clusters. And you're just going to repeat this and repeat this and repeat this, these 2 rounds over and over again until you've reached, like I said, reached the height for the bottle that you're going to be carrying. And I'm going to go ahead and let you do that. Just finish off your round 9 and then move on to round 8 and then 9 and then 8 and then 9, back and forth until you get as tall as you want. And I will meet you at the end where we will work rounds 11, 12, and 13. So go ahead and pause the video. When you click play again, we'll be back to finish. Okay, now I have completed my rounds, alternating between round 8 and 9, and I have ended with a total of 7 of my square cluster rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And as you see, this is actually the larger water bottle that has also fit into this. I had to squeeze it in a little bit, but you're going to want to do, it's going to end up being approximately 7 rounds of the square clusters, and I end with a round of square clusters, not with a round of chain 3s, half double crochet, chain 3, half double crochet. So it ends here with a round of square clusters, and then what we're going to do here, the next step on actually round 11 is real simple. You are just going to work slip stitches into each of your stitches here. So, sorry, we're going to chain 1, in round 11, we are going to work a slip stitch into each of our stitches around. I'm just going to kind of seal off our work here. And you're going to get to your chain one space. Go ahead and work a slip stitch into that chain one, and then into your 3 stitches of your cluster, and then your next chain one space. And we're just going to work slip stitches around our complete project. Go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and pause the video, and when you get to the end of this round, we will be ready to start working on our strap. So go ahead and pause, and I'll see you on the other side of 11. Okay, now I get to the end of my slip stitches here, and I'm just going to slip in, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. I'm just going to slip into the top of this stitch here at the beginning. The easiest stitch for you to slip into, go ahead and slip it to just finish that off. And we have completed our water bottle cozy. Now for the strap part. This part is super simple. You're basically just working your clusters up, and I keep going out of focus on this, so let me see if maybe it's a camera angle issue. But what we're going to do is we're going to chain 5, but I'm going to do a little tug after each chain. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to half double crochet into this first space after that stitch. So I'm going to go half double crochet. So I've made the first I've made the little holder for the strap here. Okay, so on round 12, as you can see on the pattern, the written pattern itself, it says chain 5, pulling a tighter chain after each chain made. That's what I mean by that section. And the next thing we're going to do is turn our work and chain 2, moving on to round 13. Now we're going to go ahead and work a cluster into that chain. So we'll just do our cluster that we've been making for each of our cluster rows. Sorry about all the extra noise around here. We're going to work a cluster. And then we're going to work it just like we did. We're going to go in between those stitches with a single crochet 2 times. And we made our first cluster. And then we're going to chain 2. There's 1 of 2 ways you can do this. You can actually work this like the rest of your pattern. You can chain 3 and then turn and then join over here on the end of your cluster, which maybe I'll do. No, we did a chain 3. So what I would do is do a slip stitch at the end here. So we've just, we can kind of do that alternating 8 and 9 for this as well. And then we just chain 2 and turn, and into that chain 3, work another cluster. And that will kind of keep it in line with the rest of your bag. Or, as the picture shows in the written pattern, I've just worked 1 cluster on top of another cluster. So you can also just work a cluster straight up. But if you do it this way, you'll have that little gap in between each of your clusters, which is just fine. Or you can chain 2 and turn and work into each of your stitches to give you a little more secure of a cluster, but just work it the same way, only this way you're going to be working into your stitches and then into that starting chain like that. And this is the way that I have it in the pictures, just working a cluster on top of a cluster. So you can do it either one of those ways. And this way, obviously, you're not going to have the gap. You're just going to have this cluster on cluster on cluster all the way up. Either way you want to do it. Now, if you are making this for a hip, bottle holder, you can stop it here, or you can go a little longer if you'd like. But if you're making this for actual shoulder strap, then obviously you want to make it a little longer. Make it as long as you need to. Just working those clusters on top of clusters, or just alternating, like I said, alternating between your cluster and your chain and your cluster and your chain. So that is how we work the strap. And I will go ahead and leave you to finish that. But I hope you have enjoyed this pattern. I hope it was easy enough for you, and I hope that I wasn't too confusing in the written pattern trying to explain the square clusters. But it's actually very simple. You can do a whole lot with this. You can make little candle holders. You can do anything. You can make cozies for soda cans, for whatever you like. And I hope that you will subscribe to my channel here at Chasey Crochet. I have a lot of great free patterns and power hour projects that you can make in an hour or less, and a lot of fun things to come. So I hope you'll subscribe here. I hope you'll come join us over on our group at www.facebook.com/groups/yarn wars. And I also hope you'll come and join us over at yarnwars.com, where you will find lots of fun free patterns from Yarn Wars and some great pattern reviews. And again, you'll find the listing of our Power Hour projects. We do lots of fun things at our group on Facebook. We do mini challenges, we do contests, we do all kinds of fun things. So make sure you come by and join us there. And until next time, happy yarning. Have a great day, my friends. Thank you. Bye-bye.